students, this is an English language lesson. It is for Form 4 and we are going to do the roundup activities for Unit 1. Unit 1, the topic is Let's Chat. Let's look at the aims of the roundup activities. It is to help students revise the structures, functions and vocabulary in Module 1 through various activities. Then to introduce students to various aspects of the culture of various countries. So this is the first part, part A. There are three options, so choose A, B or C. Let's look at number 1. I'm sick. Doing homework every weekend. So it is A with, B2 or C off. Number 2, I've got a signal in here, so I can't call Jerry. So A weak, B nasty, C challenging. Number 3, you shouldn't about your friends. A gossip, B discuss, C mention. Number 4, I'm fat with Mike's behavior. He's so rude. So A off, B up, C out. Number 5, Andy to talk to anyone about his problem because he was embarrassed. Refuse, A is refused, B accepted, C argued. Number 6, face jokes are I can't stop laughing. A powerful, B hilarious, C flexible. Number 7, I need to an antivirus program on my new computer. A install, B charge, C store. D let me fill you on what happened yesterday. So A out, B up, C in. So try to answer these questions and then write your score. Dear pupils, let's check your answers. So number 1, I'm sick of doing homework every weekend. Number 2, I've got a weak signal in here, so I can't call Jerry. Number 3, you shouldn't gossip about your friends. Number 4, I'm fed up with Mike's behavior. He's so rude. Number 5, Eddie refused to talk to anyone about his problem because he was embarrassed. Number 6, face jokes are hilarious. I can't stop laughing. Number 7, I need to install an antivirus program on my new computer. Number 8, let me fill you in on what happened yesterday. Now let's look at B. This is part B. Complete with the present simple or the present continuous of the verbs in brackets. Number 1, A, I think of going to the cinema on Saturday. You, and then the verbs in bracket is come. B, I, the verb in bracket not think, so. My brother, verb in bracket need help with his maths, so I have to stay at home. Number 2, my sister, the verbs in bracket you have talk, always talk on the phone. When she's at home, I never get the chance to use the phone. Number 3, A, Peter, and you have the verb here, work hard every day. B, usually, but these days he bracket study for an exam, so he hasn't been to the gym much. Number 4, Ethan received email from his cousins in Australia every day. At the moment, he sent a reply to one of them. So remember to write the answers and then check the answers and then write your score. Now pupils, let's look at the answers. So remember you're writing present simple or present continuous. So number 1, I am thinking of going to the cinema on Saturday. Are you coming? B, I do not think so, or I don't think so. My brother needs help with his maths, so I have to stay at home. My sister, because of the word always, so my sister is always talking on the phone. When she's at home, I never get the chance to use the phone. Number 3, does Peter work out every day? Usually, but these days he is studying, because these days, okay, he is studying for an exam, so he hasn't been to the gym much. Number 4, Ethan receives emails from his cousins in Australia every day. At the moment, so because at the moment, he is sending a reply to one of them. Let's look at part 3. You have to circle the correct words. Number 1, I still can't get used to waking up early in the morning. Number 2, did you download any new songs yesterday? Number 3, Linda isn't used to living alone, so sometimes she feels lonely. Number 4, Monica came across some old pictures as she was tidying her desk. Number 5, my father didn't used to walking to work, but now he does. So remember, try to answer these questions first and then write your score. Dear pupils, let's look at the answers. I still can't get used to waking up early in the morning. Number 2, did you download any new songs yesterday? Number 3, Linda isn't used to living alone, so sometimes she feels lonely. Number 4, Monica came across some old pictures as she was tidying her desk. Number 5, my father didn't used to walk to work, but now he does. Now this is part D. Choose A, B or C. Number 1, Alice is creative person I know. A, the most, B, more, C, S. Number 2, the journey was than expected. A, long, B, as long, C, longer. 3, the we leave for the train station, the better. So A, early, B, earlier, C, earliest. Number 4, postcards are not popular as emails. So A, as, B, more, C, much. Number 5, Betty is getting taller and every day. So A, taller, B, tallest, C, much tall. Number 6, I think science is difficult than history. A, much more, B, a lot, C, the most. Let's look at the answers. So number 1, Alice is the most creative person I know. Number 2, the journey was longer than expected. Number 3, the earlier we leave for the train station, the better. Number 4, postcards are not as popular as emails. Number 5, Betty is getting taller and taller every day. Number 6, I think science is much more difficult than history. Let's move on to part E. Choose the correct response. There are 2 extra responses which you do not need to use. So let's look at number 1. Give me a call on Monday so we can chat. So what is the correct response? Number 2. What are you going to tell your brother now that you broke his mobile phone? Number 3. I need to have a word with Tom. Number 4. I lost touch with Jack after he got married. Number 5. I'm visiting Sam next weekend. Number 6. Are you coming to my football match on Saturday? So let's look at the responses. A. Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it for the world. B. Sure. What's your phone number? C. You can bring him along. D. That's too bad. You were such good friends. E. You can count him in. F. Really? Give my regards to him. G. Why? Is he in trouble again? H. I'll come up with something. Let's Let's look at the answers. Number 1, give me a call on Monday so we can chat. Answer is, sure, what's your phone number? Number 2, what are you going to tell your brother now that you broke his mobile phone? Answer, I'll come up with something. Okay, number 3, I need to have a word with Tom. Answer, why? Is he in trouble again? Number 4, I lost touch with Jack after he got married. Answer, that's too bad. You were such good friends. Number 5, I'm visiting Sam next weekend. Answer, what's the response? Really? Give my regards to him. Number 6, are you coming to my football match on Saturday? Answer, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it for the world. So after completing the 5 parts, part A, B, C, D, and E, try to look at your total score. Dear pupils, ask yourself these questions. Now I can talk about various aspects of communication. Can you do it? Number 2, now I can distinguish between permanent and temporary situations. Now I can make comparisons. Now I can talk about what I like or dislike. Now I can write a personal web page. Now I can refer to past habits and events. Now I can write an informal letter or write an informal email based on prompts. Now I can express enthusiasm, accept or refuse an invitation, and give news. So remember, we are also going to do activities or exercises for culture, page 1, which is on page 128, exam practice on page 140, and video worksheets on page 148. Let's look at the first one, which is culture, page 1. How well do you know American and British English differences? Complete the table below, then read the text and check your answers. So here you have the table. British English, for example, you have autumn, you have petrol. And American English, you have trash and trunk. British English, for the next table, you have zebra crossing, biscuit and chips. And for American spelling, you have chips.
Culture page 1.
Which English do you speak? Over 1 billion people speak English worldwide, either as a first or second language. It is the international language of communications, science, information technology, business, entertainment, radio, and politics. This makes some people imagine that it is a single language, spoken in the same way throughout the world. However, there are many variations, not only in pronunciation, but also in spelling and vocabulary. Let's see what happens with British and American English. From the 17th century, people began traveling from Great Britain to North America to live, which is how the first form of American English began. Some English pronunciations and words have stayed the same in the US since their arrival, but in England, they have changed over the years. This explains differences in English, such as the word for the season fall, American English, or autumn, British English. The word fall is in fact Old English and not a new Americanism. The same is the case with the word trash, the American English word for rubbish. The English of North America has also been influenced by the different European settlers that arrived from the 1600s. For example, the word boss comes from Dutch. Nowadays, almost everyone has heard American English through music on the radio and films or movies at the cinema. This means that even if there are differences, most people are familiar with them. However, if you are not aware of these differences, some misunderstandings can occur. For example, when it comes to cars and driving, British English speakers call the space for bags at the back of the car the boot, and Americans call it the trunk. A car that is driven with gears is called manual, British English, and stick in the US. A British English speaker may find it funny to think of someone driving a stick. In the UK, you fill a car with petrol, but in the US, it's called gas. A crosswalk in the US is known as a zebra crossing in the UK. Regarding food, there are also several differences. For example, a cookie in the US is a biscuit in the UK. Fried potatoes are chips in British English and fries in America. If you are British and you ask for chips in the US, you'll get some crisps. So these differences may seem serious at first, but in actual fact, they are unlikely to cause problems and are more amusing than confusing. The reality is that whatever English you speak, you'll be able to get by throughout the world, because English is an international language, and international English is replacing both American and British English.
Let's look at the answers for the differences between American and British English. So for British English, you will say autumn, but American English is fall. British English is rubbish, American English is trash. British English, boot, American English, trunk. British English is petrol, American English you say gas. For British English, it is the zebra crossing. For American English, it is crosswalk. British English, you say biscuit. American English, you say cookie. British English, you use chips. American English, you say fries. And then the last one, for British English, crisps. For British English, chips. This is the second exercise for the cultural page. So read the text again and write T for true or F for false. There are over 1 billion non-native speakers of English. So is it true or false? The pronunciation and vocabulary are not the only differences which exist between American and British English. There are certain words which have changed in England but not in the US. Number 4, the word trash comes from Dutch. Number 5, an American would laugh if someone told him that he drives a stick. Number 6, the word chips exists in both British and American English, but has a different meaning. Number 7, it is difficult to communicate in the UK if you do not speak British English. So let's look at the answers. Dear pupils, do some research on the internet and look for examples of words and phrases that are different in British and American English. Draw a table and complete it with 20 of them in both versions. Words with spelling differences may also be included, so try to do this. Now let's look at the answers. For number 1, there are over 1 billion non-native speakers of English. So answer is false. The pronunciation and vocabulary are not the only differences which exist between American and British English. The answer is true. There are certain words which have changed in England but not in the US. Answer is true. The word trash comes from Dutch. Answer is false. An American would laugh if someone told him that he drives a stick. Answer is false. The word chips exists in both British and American English, but has a different meaning. Answer is true. It is difficult to communicate in the UK if you do not speak British English. Answer is false. Now let's look at the first activity for the video. So this is the warm up. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in the box. Then watch part 1 of the video and check your answers. So let's look at the words journalist, QR code, pixel, eyewitness, connect, tape, compact, and megapixel. Let's look at the sentences. 1. I was listening to a recording of my father on an old cassette. Number 2. When you zoom in on a digital image, you can see all the. Number 3. This camera can take photos with 12. Number 4. Alan is a or an for the Daily Herald. 5. An told the police officer that he saw the robbers get into a white van. Number 6. There is a or an on that poster. Scan it with your smartphone to see what happens. Number 7. Sarah always carries a or an camera in her bag wherever she goes. Number 8. There was no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't to the internet. Dear pupils, this is the activity for video 1, part A. So you can scan the QR code and then you will get to watch the video. So let's look at the vocabulary. You have words like or phrases like cassette tape, pixel, megapixel, journalist, eyewitness, QR code, compact camera, and connect. Let's look at the answers. Number 1, I was listening to a recording of my father on an old cassette tape. Number 2, when you zoom in on a digital image, you can see all the pixel. Number 3, this camera can take photos with 12 megapixel. Number 4, Alan is a or an a journalist for the Daily Herald. Number 5, a witness told the police officer that he saw the robbers get into a white van. Number 6, there is a or an QR code. So a QR code on that poster. Scan it with your smartphone to see what happens. Number 7, Sarah always carries a or an a compact camera in her bag wherever she goes. Number 8, there was no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't connect to the internet. For the while watching activity, watch part 2 of the video, what is meant by the opening statement of the video. And then this is another activity for part B. So you can scan the QR code again to watch the video. Let's look at the answer. So the question is, what is meant by the opening statement of the video? So the answer is, camera phones don't exist refer to the fact that all phones have got cameras these days. So it is an unnecessary term. Dear pupils, here we are for the part C of this section for the video. So part C, watch part 2 again and choose A, B or C. So there are 4 questions here. Which came first? A, the invention of the digital camera. B, the appearance of mobile phones in shops. C, the appearance of digital cameras in shops. Number 2, why don't people buy digital cameras as much anymore? A, because they haven't got many megapixels. B, because they aren't as convenient as camera phones. C, because they are bigger than camera phones. For question 3, what does the video say about eyewitnesses? A, they don't notice many news events anymore. B, they prefer uploading stories to reading them. C, they help news organizations by providing images. Question 4, what does the video suggest about QR codes? A, they have become useful for the advertising industry. B, they have become less popular recently. C, you can find them on many websites. Let's look at the answers. For number 1, which came first? The answer is the invention of the digital camera. Number 2, why don't people buy digital cameras as much anymore? Answer is because they aren't as convenient as camera phones. Number 3, what does the video say about eyewitnesses? Answer, they help news organizations by providing images. Number 4, what does the video suggest about QR code? Answer, they have become useful for the advertising industry. Now you have to watch part 2 again and write T for true or F for false. Let's look at the statements. Number 1, the first mobile phones were heavier than the first digital cameras. Number 2, after its invention, the digital camera took longer to reach the shops than the mobile phone. Number 3, it was easy to find cameras with 10 megapixels in 2010. Number 4, citizen journalism has developed because more and more people want to become journalists. 5. QR codes can be read by both a mobile phone and a digital camera. Let's look at the answers. For number 1, the first mobile phones were heavier than the first digital camera. So the answer is false. After its invention, the digital camera took longer to reach the shops than the mobile phone. Answer is true. It was easy to find cameras with 10 megapixels in 2010. The answer is true. Citizen journalism has developed because more and more people want to become journalists. So answer is false. QR codes can be read by both a mobile phone and a digital camera. Answer is false. Let's look at the after watching activity. So here you have to discuss. First, you can discuss what do you use the camera on your phone for. So you can have a discussion with a friend or a discussion among friends in a group. So number 2, can you imagine life without a camera phone? So you can discuss these 2 questions with your friends. Dear pupils, now we are going to do module 1. So this is part A. Read the text below and choose the correct word for each space. So let's look at the passage. The computer is one of the most important of the 20th century. So answer will be A. Highlights, B. Invention, C. Facilities, D. Programs. Some people, number 2, that they cannot live without them, while others are not very fond. Number 3, them. So number 2, A. Thinks, B. Thinking, C. Thinks, D. Are thinking. Number 3, A. On, B. With, C. Of, and D. About. Using computer has many advantages. First of all, computers help users organize and save. Number 4, so number 4A, software, B. Data, C. Viruses, D. Sites. Thanks to developments in technology, computers can process information 5 than the human brain can. So number 5, A as fast, B fast, C the faster, D a lot faster. This way, users can save a lot of time. Secondly, users can seek songs, films, and games on their computer and enjoy them whenever they want. So number 6, A install, B store, C attach, D paste. So let's continue. Those who have access to the internet can download information and keep 7, touch with family and friends through emails or even 8, online. So 7, A with, B 2, C on, D in. Number 8, A discuss, B chat, C mention, D explain. The next paragraph. Unfortunately, there are some drawbacks as well. Computers make us dependent on them. Instead of thinking about how to solve a problem, people 9 to finding solutions the easy way on the internet with just a few 10 of the mouse. So 9 used, A used, B get used, C are used, D use. Number 10, A signals, B taps, C scrolls, D clicks. In addition, sitting in front of a computer screen for hours can cause health problems. 11. As eye strain. So 11. A for, B such, C that, D like. Lastly, computers that are connected to the internet are at risk. They can get viruses that can destroy all the programs or 12 information. So 12A, shut, B, lose, C, delete, D, undo. Let's look at the answers. For number 1, the answer is inventions. Number 2, the answer is think. Number 3, the answer is off. Number 4, the answer is data. Number 5, the answer is a lot faster. Number 6, store. Number 7, in. Number 8, chat. Number 8, are used. Number 10, clicks. Number 11, such. Number 12, delete. Let's look at part B. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence using the word given. Do not change the word given. You must use between 2 and 5 words, including the word given. So let's look at the first one. Mike really likes playing football. So the word given is keen. Mike, football. Number 2, Andy is improving at his job. The word given is and. Andy is at his job. Number 3, Paula didn't used to be so outgoing. So the word is then. Paula is to be. Number 4, Sandra still doesn't know how to use her new mobile. So the word given is used. Sandra is still her new mobile. Number 5, I need to speak to you. The word given is word. I need to you. Number 6, Erin thought of the perfect solution. So the word given is came. Erin, the perfect solution. Number 7, Rita disappointed me yesterday afternoon. So the word given is let. Rita, yesterday afternoon. Number 6, if you keep exercising, you'll get fit. The word given is more. So the, you get. Let's look at the answers. 1, Mike really likes playing football. So answer will be Mike is really keen on football, or Mike is really keen on playing football. Number 2, Andy is improving at his job. So N. So Andy is getting better and better at his job. Number 3, Paula didn't used to be so outgoing then. So answer, Paula is more outgoing than she used to be. So number 4, Sandra still doesn't know how to use her new mobile. So answer, bracket used. Sandra is still not used to her new mobile phone, or Sandra is still not used to using her new mobile phone. Number 5, I need to speak to you. Word. I need to have a word with you. Number 6, Erin thought of the perfect solution. Came. So answer, Erin came up with the perfect solution. Number 7, Rita disappointed me yesterday afternoon. So let. Rita let me down yesterday afternoon. Number 8, if you keep exercising, you'll get fit. More. The more you exercise, the fitter you'll get. Dear pupils, what was your score for the activities we did just now? Okay, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and you can watch more videos on English language. I'm Madam Gan. Signing off. Bye bye.